Now, one of the things that most kids had trouble with were the fractions of a percent. All right, those are the ones that were tricky. All right, so I definitely want to get a good look at that. But what I want to do is I'm just going to review with you 22, 25, 28. All right. Now, some of you did, some of you didn't. I appreciate the extra work some of you did do. All right, but I want everybody to take a look at what we're doing up here on 22. All right, I don't feel like doing 35%. All right, so there's things we can do. All right, you could change that to what? 40%, right? Or you could change it to what? 30%. Some of you guys that are thinking clearly, you could even, if you wanted to, change it to 33% because 33% means to do what? Just divided by 3. Everybody hearing me on this? Right, I think that's a pretty good decision. Right, 33%, I would like everybody to know that 33% just means to do what? Divide by 3. All right, so we have two options. All right, we're going to go with 33%. Now, if we're going to go with 33%, I need to figure out a number that's close to 544 that's divisible by 3. So we could simply say that's about what? 500 and, well, 540 would be perfect, all right? Now, the reason why we know 540 because we know that if I add the digits, it's divisible by 3. You agree? However, for me personally, because I'm lazy, I don't even want to do that. I want to just change it to what? Somebody said it. To 600, right? Good. I would just change it to 600. And if I divide 600 by 3, right, then I'm at what? 200, right? Now, I want to see this. If I said 540 divided by 3, that would just be right around 180. Is there that much difference? You see what I mean? So you're in a good position. Either way you do that, all right? You might have also said, let's do this, 40%, and then you could have made that what? If you made that 600, right? So 10% would be 60, so 40% would be 240. Now, honestly, to me, that seems a little bit high. All right? That's why I kind of like 35% is roughly around 33% divided by 3. Yes, ma'am. I'm okay with that. Now, I personally, let's talk about that because I do think that's a really good explanation. So listen to me. Everybody pay attention to what she said. So if I change it to 30% and this to 500, don't you agree that we've underestimated both of them? And 5% is quite a bit, actually. So what I was hoping you would say is I would change that to 30% and maybe make this what? 600. Does that make sense to you? Right, if I go high on one, I'd rather go low on the other. And that way they kind of balance each other out. Does that make sense? But again, I do think it's super, super important. All right, super important. All right, so now let's talk about 65%. Remember what I told you? 33% is 1/3. What is 65% close to? 66, which is?
Divided by 2/3.
2/3, thank you. So I need everybody to look at 65%. And I'd really like for you to say that's about what? That's about 2/3. All right, that's about 2/3. All right, so now what number is divisible by 3 that's close to 73? Easy one. 70, 75, right? Think in terms of quarters. So I would change 73 to 75. Now the question is, what's 2/3 of 75? Well, what's 1/3 of 75? 25, and I want 2 of them, so it would be, yes. So 2/3 of 75 would be what? Would be 50. That's exactly right. And let's say you didn't do that. let's just say you said it was 70% of 70. I'm totally okay with that. That answer would have been what? 49. Now, all I'm trying to show you now is if you don't show me how you got that, I don't know if you're doing it right. That's why you show your work on that. And then look, how close are we? Is that pretty accurate, guys? Pretty close. Whether you changed it to 2/3 or whether you did 70% of 70. Now, notice what we did here. We went up to 70 and down to 70. Does everybody agree with that? So it kind of balanced out a little bit. It kind of balanced out. Come on, you guys. I want you paying attention. All right, is everybody happy with that? Now, the last thing I want to do is I want to go back to these percentages. I want to go down to the bottom. All right. I want to go down to question number 26, just to make sure, guys. I want to make sure everybody understands me on 26. This is a very, very good question. Playing around, I'm telling you, I just said something to you. I want you paying attention. You're playing around. Now, I want everybody to not make a mistake about 1/6%. I want everybody to tell me what 1% is. What is 1% about?
5.6.
Yes, 6. I like it. You could say 5.67. I like that. All right, but she just rounded right off the bat, right? So she just did 600, and then 1% of that would be 6. I like what you did, because if somebody asked me 1%, I automatically just move it 2 places to the left. So 1% is technically 1.567. Everybody good with that? And then 1% of 600 is 6. So we're in good shape. Yes, ma'am. 5.67, right?
Because
Shh, hold on. You see that? Because whenever you do 1%, 1% means to divide by 100. You hear me or not? So if I divide by 100, that means move the decimal 2 places to the left. Do you hear that? You with me? So if I just round 567 to 600, I know 1% is 6. Do you agree? So now, 1/6 of a percent, 1/6 of a percent is what? 1/6 of the percent is equal to what? 1. Beautiful. That means you understand what I'm talking about. 1. How did I get 1? Because I just divided by 6. 1% is 6, so I divide by 6. So 1/6 of a percent is equal to about 1. Everybody happy with that? All right, I think that's kind of important. All right. Anytime you're less than 1%, that's a very small amount. All right, as I asked my other class, if I was feeling generous today and I had $100 and I said I'm going to give you 0.5% of that, how much money would you get? This is exactly what we're doing for this very exact reason.
50 cents.
You're awesome. You would get 50%. You would get 50 cents. How is that? Because 1% of $100 would be what? $1. Come on now. That's not a trick question. 1% of $100 is what? $1. And I'm feeling so generous today, I'm going to give you 0.5%. So 0.5% would be $0.50. 50 cents. All right? Hopefully you understand what I'm saying. All right. And we're going to spend more time doing that. All right. So now everybody pull up worksheet 6.3 and slide down to worksheet number 2. All right. Now I need your eyes and ears. Very, very important lesson. All right. Now, on Monday, we did proportions. All right. And I said, there's another way to do it. All right. But some kids like setting up proportions. And then there's an advanced technique for those of you guys who are going into algebra, which is all of us. We're going to start using equations. And everybody in my last class said today's was much easier. Much, much easier. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to show you how to translate, instead of using a proportion, into using an equation. And it's very simple. All right? Very simple. So when they ask you a question, for example, number 1, what? As soon as they ask you the question, that is the unknown. All right? So we're going to write down n. All right? That's what I want you to write down first. Now in math, is always means equals. Not anymore. It just means equals. Come on, boys. This is the foundation right now. Now, how do I write 5% as a decimal? Everybody should be able to tell me that's obviously 0.05. Now, some of you in the future are going to ask me, well, what's the decimal? I'm not sure. Anytime you want to convert a percent to a decimal, the rule is just divide by 100, because that's what percent means, divided by 100. So if you type in on your calculator, as a matter of fact, everybody just type this in, 5, and then divided by 100, because that's what percent means, it tells you 0.05. All right? So 5% means 0.05. All right? Is everybody with me?
Yes.
All right. So now, of in math, and some of you should write this down, always means multiply. So I'm going to do times. Now, instead of using the times symbol, we use parentheses because obviously we're doing variables. And the times symbol looks like an X. All right? So I'm multiplying that by what? 224. 224. All right? So now, in this case, n is equal to how much? 11.2. All right? Now, personally, for me, I just think that's much, much easier. All right? But we still got a lot to go before you agree with me.
So number 2 would be 0.18.
Well, we're going on number 3 now. I'm going right down the page.
So for all of the ones that we've done, like what is blah 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 of whatever.
It's much better to do an equation.
Okay.
Much better. Quick.
We're not supposed to use our calculators, right?
No, today you can use your calculator. All right. Now, again, because what's important is, again, let me say this. What's important? Setting it up. That's what's important. Setting it up requires you to show your
Work.
Let the calculator do the arithmetic, but you have to set up the work. All right? So now, just to make sure I'm clear, what? All right? That's the variable. So I want to write down n. Now, I don't care what variable you use, but we're going to write n. Is always means what? Equals. Now, 63%, 0.63 times 300. That's why I want you to use your calculator. All right? So n is equal to, everybody agree with that? Now, again, I don't want you just writing down 189 because everybody else got 189 and you didn't use your calculator. Use your calculator. Don't be lazy. Do the work. All right. Ben, how do I set up number 5? Let's see how good I'm doing. Beautiful. So, n equals what? Everybody agree with that?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Genowine,
Yes.
number 7. Now listen, find is kind of the same as what? Exactly. Same thing. So now what?
So you would do n equals 0.75, and then in parentheses, 12.
You are amazing.
And then n equals 0.75. And that's 230.
Anybody agree with that?
Yes.
All right. Keep your hands down. Let me just go around the room. Everybody's going to get their shot. What? No, of course not. Number 9.
Me?
Yes, you.
Okay.
Go.
Okay. So this would be 5. What's that? Wait. Do you need this one?
Look at number 7.
It's 0.56.
I'm asking you, how do you start this problem?
Oh, n equals.
N equals. Now, again, I'm going to tell her again. Everybody, I understand you don't remember things sometimes, but I don't want you to remember things. I want you to understand what I'm saying. So whenever somebody gives you a percent, what does percent even mean? Carly, can you tell me? Percent. Per means divide. Cent means 100. Divide by 100. That's what that means. So now take your calculator out and do 5.6 and divide it by 100. Yes, that's where that number came from. 0.056. Please understand what I'm saying. A percent, divide by 100. If you get confused, if you know what percent means, there's no confusion. Just divide by 100. Then what?
And then you multiply it by 1,050.
Okay, good. So n is.
Equal to 5.3.
Anybody else get that?
It says 0.
No, try it again.
So
0.056 times 1050.
oh, wait.
I can't believe I'm going to tell you how to type numbers on a calculator.
5, 8.
What is it?
5, 8.
Come on, girl. 58.8. You understand me, right? Come on, girl. 58.8. All right. Now, I want to see who's paying attention. Jack.
Me?
Jack, yes, you. Number 11. What am I doing?
52.3 divided by 10.
What? No. Tell him. Mr. Mead, go.
Okay, so I'm just.
Too
I
slow.
did the same
Allison,
thing, but
how do I set this up?
N
No. Hunter.
That would be 52.3.
Wow. Listen, it's a literal translation. Literal translation. That's why some of you guys, I'm telling you, stop memorizing. Think about what I'm saying at the beginning of class. I'm telling you how to solve the problems. It's crystal clear. Go.
That would be 52.3 equals.
Well, wait a minute. Why would you put 52.3 down first? Because maybe it's written first. Maybe it's written first. That's why we do that. I don't. Stop talking. Next, what's the next thing I'm going to write down?
Because of the is, it would be equal.
Because of the is, it's equal. Wow. Now what?
Then because of the what percent, that's the unknown.
Which is
number,
the? Which is n. You are amazing. Then what?
And then just like we were doing
Of is
time.
multiplying by 1046. Now, come on now. That's how simple these problems are. That's how simple. The problem is we're doing a little bit of algebra now, so how do I undo multiplication, Hunter? Division. So on your paper, that's written down. And then your next step is to do divide by 1046, divide by 1046. And so n, Hunter, is what? We having calculator issues?
No.
Wake me up.
0.05.
How much?
0.05.
Does anybody agree with 0.05?
Yes, so
Yes, but ladies, no one's talking to you. Hunter, That's not the answer. Why is that not the answer?
Oh, because it's a decimal.
And
So
they want it as a,
5%.
it would be 5%. Brilliant. So that's 5%. So the lesson today is make sure you answer the question. Cole, right? You're up. Let's see how much you were paying attention. Much better than the Jacks, I can see.
We said
Go.
but we didn't
No excuses. Go.
It would be 10 points
What?
or 1 point.
What?
Oh, I know. I'm listening.
No.
Come
I'm
on,
going to have to have the
give me another
girls
chance.
bail you boys out
But give me
again.
another chance.
Go. No. Emily, go. Cole, what's up with that? How did you not? Am I not being clear today for some reason? Speak up. I mean it, guys. If you don't know something, now it's time to ask. Now what do I do? You are amazing. Divided by 250, divided by 250. So n is equal to, well, 0.4, right? And then, of course, you wouldn't leave it like that because you're answering the question 40%. No, I don't care. I asked you to write the equation. Didn't I ask you to write the equation? I don't care about the other method or the new technique or I got the answer because I did it this way. I promise you guys, I'm leading you in the right direction. You hear me, Cole? I promise you I'm leading you in the right direction. This isn't about this little problem right here. I'm already thinking about Algebra 1 and Algebra 2 and how you're going to do over there. I'm showing you a process, teaching you better about numbers. You have to understand what I'm saying. It makes it easier in the long run. Even though sometimes right now you can look at that and tell me what the answer is. I want you to set up the equation. I want you to solve the equation. I'm letting you use your calculator so it's super simple. All right, so what boy's going to give me a right answer? All right, Lander, set one up. You better be right. 15.
So 10 equals n multiplied by 625. And then you put 625 under 10 and
You are awesome. Thank you. So now n equals
0.16.
0.16, which equals,
Sorry, I said that one. That's 0.016.
oh, is that true?
Yeah.
I'm going to let that mistake go. 0.016, which is the same as
1.6.
1.6 what?
1.6%.
Yes, sir, 1.6%. Very nice. You're on. Let's go. Loud and proud. We're right next to the speaker here. 0.4. Amazing. Good job. Now what? Divide by 5. I'm waiting. 0.08, which is the same as? You are awesome. 8%. All right, nice. What?
After I had done that, because at first I did get 8%, but then when I had multiplied 8 times 5, I hadn't gotten the 4% because I had 3%.
That's right. Allison, come on, girl. Read it. You can do it. Straight across. What's the first thing you see? So you write that down. Yeah, there you go. 1206. Now what do I write down? Equals. Beautiful. Point 15, which is? Was that wrong? William's saying it's wrong.
No.
He said right out, that's horrible. He said that's so bad.
I just, wait, so you multiply times 8 over And then
Yes.
we divide it by 8,000.
That's right, because we're isolating the variable. Oh, I thought you said she was wrong.
No, you
All right, here we go. 21. Carly. Oh, I see the excitement in your voice. Let's go.
Okay.
I'm not. You want me to write okay down, or what are we doing? What are we writing down first here?
I'll be right down 13.
13. Good. All right, we're on the same page. Then what? Equals. Uh-oh. First problem. What do we got?
Equals n.
What are we looking at? What's the next thing?
Oh, n equals 50.
50 what?
Percent.
How do I write 50%? Divide by 100.
Yeah.
What is 50 divided by 100?
2.
Try it on your calculator. 50 divided by 100. Just a minute, I'll let you do that.
Okay.
What is 50 divided by 100? You knew that, right? You see what I'm saying, right? I don't want you to be so nervous. I just want you to know 50%. That means half. Half is what? 0.5. Come on, girl. Be strong. All right? I don't care if you're wrong. I care if you're trying. 0.5. Then what? What does of mean? On all the problems, of meant what?
Multiply.
Wow, thank you. Times what?
N.
Yay, girl. Come on. Now what do I do?
You divide
By
5 n.
0.5. Now listen to me. Don't be mad at me. You listen to me. You got to do what I'm doing. And when you don't understand something, you got to what? You got to speak up. You hear me? You got to speak up. I can't worry about you every single problem, Carla. You hear me? All right, come on, girl. This is not over your head. This is not too hard. Come on, join the class. Math is fun.
Yay.
Who's laughing at that?
It's a
Go. What is the
I
answer?
never said it wasn't.
26. Good. All right, Hanson. Don't embarrass the boys again today. They've already had enough. Go.
Number 25.
20 what?
Oh, you're
Wow,
embarrassing
you're, oh,
me.
man. Thank you, guys. Hanson, what's up, man? Here we go. Go.
It's 11 equals
Uh-oh. 11 equals?
0.04
Lucky.
times a or n.
Good. Good, good. Now what?
You're gonna do 11 divided by 0.04.
Yep. 0.04, 0.04. So help me out. N equals.
275.
Did anybody else get 275?
I did.
I did.
All right. Nice. Very nice. Very nice. What was the answer to the last one? Sorry, that 2 doesn't look like a 2. Hey, you guys, you with me? You know how to do everything. All right, number 25. All right, Caroline, don't embarrass the girls. Here we go. 3,570.
Is equal to 0.42, and then n in parentheses.
Good. Now
And
what?
then you do 3,570 divided by 0.42, and it's 8,500.
N equals 8,000. Oh, wow, what was that? 8,500. Anybody else double check me, please? Double check her. All right, I'm happy with that. Listen, right now we're going to cross out the word problems. I'm going to have a whole lecture on the word problems. But listen, now really quickly, guys, what I'm hoping you're going is, wow, that's much easier than setting it up as a proportion, doing is over of, cross multiplying. To me, I don't like that, but I want to show it just because. And the other reason is, listen to me, we're going into algebra. This is solve an equation, Jack. This is solving equations. That's what I want you to do. Everybody hear me? All right? So tonight, here's what the deal is I gave with the last class, because some of them are working hard, but they're not quite at an A. So every once in a while they ask me about extra credit, so here's what the deal was. So odds for homework. Everybody hear me?
Yes, sir.
And then evens for 5 points, and another 5 points if you do all the evens. Everybody with me? Now listen, I've already had a parent conference about showing your work and not showing work.
On the second page.
Every single time I don't know why anybody else is talking. Every single time you're required to write the equation. Does everybody hear me?
Yes, sir.
Then you do the division if it's necessary to do the division to solve for the variable. And then you put your answer. Now, for some of these problems, like number 1, you just had to multiply them to get the answer. Some of the questions, you had to actually do the what? Division. And then you write the answer. That's the expectation. That's the expectation. Not, anything less. There's infractions tomorrow now. If you're not showing your work. All right? What?
Is the homework on the first page or second page?
I'll go slow for you, Hanson. You ready? We did the second page in class, right? And we did the odds. So I am not going to assign the odds to the page that we've already done. All right? We would do the odds of the page that we haven't done. And then if you want to earn some money or some extra credit, then you would do the evens and then do the evens. So if you do this whole page right here, I'll give you 5 points. And I'll give you 5 extra if you do that too.
110 points.
Yes. So get to work. Lots to do. You're welcome very much.
So thank you very much.
Oh.